Hello. Is this thing on? I see some people. Oh, hello. How's it going? Hold on, I just gotta find something and I can get started. How's everybody doing? Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna be making the big brother of this guy today. This is actually the sculpt from of the little rolling lizard guy, and well, it's not the high resolution. Yeah, it's the sculpt, as I said. And so I'm just gonna be sculpting the big guy. So I got some, and what I'm kind of going for is like, well, number one, bigger, but also bigger than Stella. So this enemy is gonna be, much more formidable. And so, yeah, let's just start. I've got my references here. Not much, just enough. I've got a couple armored dinosaurs. This one being just a fossil. This one obviously being not real. I think this is a 3D render. This might actually just be a statue. Yeah, I think this is just like a statue. And then I've got a fossil of an armored fish. Because I kind of want the head shape maybe to be a little bit closer to that. So I'm just going to get started. Pull this. That's my screen to pull towards me. All right. Start by blocking this buddy out. Actually, I need music as well for myself. So I'm not going to be playing music. If you guys have music to play in the background, feel free. But I'm going to be playing my own stuff. I don't think you'll be able to hear it. Yeah. I mean, maybe you'll hear it through my headphones, but Sakura, how's it going? It's good to see you in here. I've already mentioned this in another video, but Sakura is the voice of Stella currently. Hello. I hope you are doing well, Sakura. So I like doing a cast after subdividing these. A sphere cast, because it's actually just gonna make it like more spheric. Hello, Dakota. And then I do this temporarily, but like I like to mirror stuff and then use the body as like the mirror object. So that way I don't really have to worry about, you know, making sure that the origin is down here where the origin should be. And just do whatever I want. Ah, cool. Yeah, that you mean I'm assuming you mean the method where you kind of sculpt a bunch of cubes and stuff, right? Or do you mean like you box model? Now I'm really curious. I mean, if it works for you, then people looking in horror, you know, maybe they should just mind their own business. Now that I see the shape, I'm not sure. Give him a nice little butt. Probably gonna get rid of this butt later, but curves. I love using curves because they're super useful for a lot of stuff. Like use them for retopology. Yeah, this is from my game project Stella. My Zelda Jack and Daxter blend. We'll give him a little shorter tail. Yeah, we've got the little rolling lizard here, and I'm making his big brother. And All right, I think that's a pretty good start. Okay, I'm gonna save now. And I usually like to save in stages as well. So I'll probably name this one like Big Lizard, creative name, block out. And that's just gonna help me understand like what stage this is in, so that once I, go into the sculpt, I'll change it to sculpt, retopology, etc. Okay. Now, sculpting. I have never used the new sculpt tools. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to apply some modifiers. Okay, so for these ones, I'm just going to get rid of the mirror. And then I'm going to grab all of these. And I'm going to use this. This is modifier tools. If you don't have it and you're using Blender, you should probably get it. It's really useful. So all the modifiers have been applied. I'm just going to set these to mirror again. There we go. Okay. So now, all right, cool. So let's get the head shape right. Remember symmetry. And I kind of like the idea that this guy almost has no neck. So I'm going to really emphasize that. Any reason why you don't use the mirror modifier? Oh, shit. All right, now to find where all my brushes are. Okay, this is flatten, plateau. Where the hell is scrape? Here we go. To quick favorites. Scrape. There we go. Just preference. I mean, it's useful depending on the situation. But, like I said before, if you have a method that you find fun, that you find works for you, then who am I to judge? Oh, this is rough. Okay, let's see. Draw. Let's get out our remesh. It's too low. So I tend to hop between remesh and Dintopo. One thing I find is if I keep the resolution low, it keeps me honest. So I like to keep it low for the very very start. It basically just means I'm not going to be spending a whole lot of time noodling and messing around with stuff. Whoops. Hello, Nickel. How are you doing? Trying to... Oh my god. There we go. Trying to like relearn so much of what I had before. There we go. That's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, it's good to hear. It's good to hear. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is that project. I'm just kind of like noodling around this monster creature. I'm gonna give him a big spine. Keep forgetting the symmetry. Oh, you know what might be happening here? I think I need to apply the scale of everything. Whoops. Yeah, that might have been causing some problems. difficult to sort of remember that I'm. So the last version of Blender that I sculpted in was, I think, 4.1. So much of the new features, like this new brush features set here, I don't know, the asset shelf or whatever, that's all completely new to me. And gotta be honest, it's a little rough. But, you know, I can figure it out. Hmm. All right, let's get them. Okay. So as far as the shape goes, I mean, that's a pretty square butt, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. I mean, it's pretty round. I think it needs to be a little bit more round, so maybe not so broad in the shoulder area. And then I think maybe the head, like, I kind of want to match a little bit of what the little rolling lizard guy has going on. Get some spikes. And then maybe some above the eyebrows. Ooh, that's interesting. Definitely like that. Whoops. Some happy accidents. Okay. So let's get some eyes in there. I'm just gonna drop the eye in there, and I think okay, I mean it's a very menacing pose, but it doesn't seem to be working well for like the sculpt. So I need to kind of adjust. That's whoops. And then something I like to do here is just so I know which way the eyes are pointing, I like to just grab an edge and then mark sharp. And that way you've got this nice little split around here that indicates which direction the eye should be facing. I think at this stage for the head, it's probably going to be a good idea to switch over to DIN Topo. Whoops. Let's get rid of that UV map first. There we go. The question is, what resolution? That's too high. Wow, that's too high. That's all right. That's still pretty high. Maybe a little bit too low. Okay, 15. So I like to work with subdivide, collapse, and constant detail. And what this basically means is no matter how close I am to the mesh, it'll always be the same resolution. So that way I can sort of just work on the mesh without having to worry about how close I am. Should I give him an underslung jaw? Let's just see what that looks like. I'm going to lower the resolution again. I don't know. I don't hate that. I like the snout. Yeah, like a little... I don't know what you'd call it, but like... I like it. Also like how this is kind of creating a little bottom lip here. Okay, noodled on the face for a bit too long now. Let's continue on to the body. So for this, since I'm not using Din Topo for anywhere else on the bottom, I'm on the body, not the bottom. I'm actually just gonna join these and then remesh to kind of like merge them all together. I can just kind of come in and start filling in some of the areas that need to be filled. Maybe start thinking about what this actually looks like, because it's a little thin from profile, but yeah. Oh, okay. It's nice and chunky dinosaur. I like that. All right. Get the shoulder working a little bit better. Round it out, make it nice and powerful. You know, we've got it seems like we've got what, 12 people right now? Curious what you guys are thinking at the moment. Just get a little distracted, sorry. Maybe if you guys are working on something while I am, I'd love to hear about it. Okay, I just had an idea. So this like spine thing that I'm doing, kind of reminding me a little bit of like a buffalo, if that's correct. Yeah, we should get that as a buffalo or bison. Are they the same thing? They're definitely not. Wait. Oh, okay, I see. Wow, this is quite a bit different from what I expected. Oh, it's a really big picture. This is not quite as... You know what? I think looking at this, maybe one of the problems is just that this boy isn't quite as long as he needs to be. Maybe he needs to be like this. Whoops. Oh, Sakura, you're researching Tamagotchi. Any particular reason why? How did that happen? Long boy. How you doing, Cold Warp Gates? So many Tamagotchis? Or like reasons to research Tamagotchis? So many different types of... You know, I never had one. I was always like really sad that I never had one. But like what like are you talking about like there's just like brand deals where one of them's like a Pikachu or something like that? Or like there's just a bunch of different Tamagotchi like creatures, or I really want to know now. For a workflow for belts. Cool. You gonna be making a leather cuirass out of belts? I don't know how to pronounce that word, by the way. I always thought it was curious. Oh yeah, okay, so it is brand deal stuff. Harry Potter. Like what, you have to take care of like a Dobby or something? I guess that doesn't make sense. Elf or like I don't know, one of those like I don't know, maybe you have to take care of an owl. I really don't know. That now I want to this is crazy. There is an owl. Oh, interesting. Take care of Gryffindor. Oh, okay. I feel like you could probably miss it. It's like okay. There's better stuff to watch out there. Not sure how I'm feeling about this frill. So are you gonna get a Tamagotchi then? Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna save. Create another one, and I'm gonna see how I feel about this guy being a little lower to the ground. A little bit closer to like what his little buddy is. With Sakura? Like like I know you're not just talking about you. Oh, you just take care of a flower or something? little bit more chameleonic. Oh, I see. Cool. So are you guys already on Christmas break then? Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, I think I like this shape a lot better. Aids to the sort of rolling motion a little bit better. Yeah. Okay, let's get these. Whoops. Some feet. Oh, whoops. Shit. I did the thing that I didn't want to do. All right. Hi, Violet. You kind of have to tell me why. Well, obviously, I'm happy to do it, but like, I'm curious now why. Is she just kind of like watching the stream, wondering what's going on? Okay, I think, oops. What happened here? Oh, I know what's going on. Okay, I think one thing I want to do is reset the 3D cursor and then set the origin to where that is. Whoops. That was stupid. Let's try that again. Switch over to a different window so I can see what's going on. Oh, he's floating. Did not expect him to be floating. Okay, so should also start naming all my stuff. So we've got head, torso, tail. We'll leave that for a second. I need to work on it. We'll call this one leg. Whoops, let's call it leg correctly. And this is gonna be feet and hands. Cool. So I need to solve this because this is kind of dumb right now. Uh-oh. It's fine. A little bit of asymmetry never hurt anybody. Plus, a lot of this detail is going to be gone when I do the retopology, so I'm not too concerned. Just trying to get like the basic overall shape. And then when I do the retopology, it's going to be quite a bit lower detail. Some of the details are going to be lost naturally, but by the end of it, I should have a creature that, you know, looks pretty scary in game, hopefully. All right. Let's get these guys done. Looking a little goofy here. interesting that I got face sets out of that. Okay, so I'm just gonna stretch for a second. Oh, just to make sure I don't die while sitting here. Oh, hopefully you guys can still hear me. I feel like the current posture that I'm in right now isn't that great. I'm going to need to sort of understand how to sit in front of my mic and draw on my tablet without killing my back. But for now, it's not really happening. Well, we're about an hour into the stream, and I've already gone back on most of my goals for this character, but I kind of like where it is. I think I just need to get some of that armor on there. Something probably pretty similar to this one. And maybe the way I do that, okay, so this is going to be our spike. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to GeoNodes. Ah, my phone is vibrating. Yeah, so in GeoNodes, I'm going to create a path. Make sure that's rotated. Yep. And then I'm just going to bring this way up here, and I'm going to line the back, the spine with it. Probably get all the way down to the tip of the tail. And I'm going to put a GeoNode on this. And what I want to do is I basically want to distribute this on the spine. So let's do curve to points. You can already see what we've got here. Let's do length. No, let's do count. And I'm not going to go too hard on this. Like, I just want to distribute stuff, basically. So yeah, let's go object info. And I'll plug that in here. Then I'll just grab this one. And then we'll distribute. No, it's instances on points. Whoops. Just knocked over my pen. And I'm going to put this one into the instance. Let's get the, it's not the normal. There's no rotation. Is it tangent? No. Oh, I'm so stupid. The rotation's right there. Hell yeah. There we go. Okay. And then in here, I want to do a transform geometry to rotate. Oh, that's a scale. Rotate everything along the x-axis. Make sure it's pointing back. Cool. So I think the scale, interestingly enough, the scale is another thing that I need, but there's no points. There's no scale on the points. Maybe. Yeah, it's not. Okay, so sample curve. What do we want? No, not sample curve. Capture attribute. Point is fine. Radius. Yeah, that should be it. So that's the radius. You want to do a spline. Oh, is it doing an overall? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, don't want that. It's probably going to be the scale elements. That is not doing it. Uniform. Face. Oh, okay, this is for a mesh. Scale instances. Wait, this can't be real. Okay, maybe I need a different approach. Don't want radius. Let's see, read curve length maybe. Okay, that did something. Bye, Dakota. All right, that's, oh, okay, that's the length. I need the factor. That's what I need. There we go. Spline parameter factor. So why is it still not working? Oh, hell yeah. Got it. Okay. So now I need to do curve. We'll do a float curve. And I'll just start by changing the shape of the curve so that our spline is a little bit more. Make it a little bit more sharp. All right. Okay. And then we'll do a set position maybe. And for this one, I want another object, which is going to be this torso of our guy. I don't remember how to do this. There was a set position. What was the other thing? Why am I forgetting? It's like a nearest or something? No. Okay. It's not going to be attribute. Geometry proximity. geometry, position. There we go. That doesn't look great over here. Maybe it's about time I merged the tail. Let's bring this resolution way down. Shade flat. I already did that. Convert to mesh. And for this, I'm going to grab this centerpiece, make sure I'm mirroring, bring it way down so that it kind of lines up with cool. I don't really care about the tip. I'm going to clean that up. And widen that out a little bit. And I'm going to just apply that and merge it and then remesh it, and voila. All right. Hell yeah. Cool. So I'm actually just gonna do that to make the spikes a little bit more apparent. But also I feel like they need to be a little bit bigger, so even though this is going to be a problem, but that's fine. Maybe, yeah, maybe not that big. I'm going a little too crazy. Okay, so here what I want to do is I want to multiply this by some value in order to get the spikes to be a little bit bigger. Like that. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to duplicate this. You'll bring it over to the side a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. We're going to do a mean tilt. Get our mesh, or rather our curve. We'll start pulling it to the side a little bit. I think towards the tail, I don't really need it to be perfectly lined up. Actually, would prefer if it was not lined up, so that it kind of looks a little bit more interesting. And then I can mirror this. No? Can I mirror it? No. Oh, I know why. I can't mirror it because I need to realize instances. There we go. So this is looking pretty good, I think. It's not perfect. Definitely needs a little bit of work. But I think we're definitely getting there. Do like the spikiness of this. I'm not sure. I think I mentioned this before, but I'm not sure if I like the frill here. But yeah, maybe that's something worth thinking about. I do like the head for the most part. I think it's a nice little upgrade from this guy. Maybe the frill. Maybe the frill just needs to be like toned down a little bit here. We just go with this sort of similar horn design that the little guy has and just kind of accentuate it a little bit. Hello. Uh, I'm just gonna call you Usil. Is that right? Is that fine, or is it Usil? You've got a very interesting username, and it's not really easy to pronounce. But I'm working on the big brother of this little guy. Making some pretty good progress here, I think. Just gotta keep at it for the time being. Okay, looks like I do need to. Oh, okay, I understand. Oh, thank you. I will keep it up. What's interesting about this is like I'm adding all this detail and I'm gonna have to retopologize all of it. So maybe the strat is that I just kind of leave the spikes separate from the body, retopologize the body, and then put the spikes on the body. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. All right, well, future me problems, I guess. I mean, so far it's looking pretty decent. I feel like maybe the hands are looking a little weird. These probably need the most work. I don't really care too much about the bottom being perfectly flat. I think I'll just deal with that in retopology or something. It's not a big deal. Okay. I like this. So we'll call this one I've worked on the UI a little bit. I'm not exactly a UI designer, but like I just kind of like um got it sorted to function. Wow. It's a terrible way of explaining it, but I don't really have any other way of explaining it. Um, so I think honestly, this is probably a pretty good spot to like leave it for a little while, come back to it with fresh eyes. But before I go, I probably should have had this ready. I'm gonna open up my project in Unity and kind of show off some of the things that I've got. So we just gotta wait for Unity to open up. But I guess Luis, I can show you the UI that I have. It's not amazing, but you know, it's functional. His legs look a little long. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, maybe I need to bulk him up a little bit. If there's one thing that I can see from this, right, is that you know what it sort of feels like? It sort of feels like when you see a really big muscular dude and they skipped leg day. So that's probably going to need a little bit of work, but as far as the back legs, I think the back legs are fine. They're all right. They're not terrible. But the front legs need to be a little bit more bulky for sure. Actually, maybe that's the thing for all of it. Like it all just need, like the legs, front and back, just need to look a little bit more bulky. It's a little bit much. And maybe like the hands need to be ooh, no. All right, all right. Let's calm down those shoulders a little bit. I think this is moving in the right direction. I don't know, what do you think? Does that feel a little bit better? Fucking awesome. All right, well, okay, so Unity's loading up. I feel like I should say before Unity loads up for the people who are here. All my socials are in the description of the video. I've got a Blue Sky account now, so if you want to follow me on there. I'll still be posting on Twitter if you already have a Twitter. I don't think I listed my Instagram, so I should put it there after the video's done. But I am starting to post more on my Instagram now, so if you also want to follow me there, you can. I've also got my Patreon there, which I would say is probably the primary way if you want to donate and help out with my game. You get access to extended devlogs, and there's of course the Streamlabs donation and the coffee donation, but there's nothing there that you get in return. So I would say, like, if you want to help me out and support me, the Patreon is probably your best bet. Yeah, I think that's everything for that. And my Discord is in the description as well. If you want to join my Discord, hang out, and just chat, there's a lot of really cool people on it working on a bunch of different games. And yeah, I'll be posting my updates there as well. So yeah. And now let's look at the game. Here we go. So we've got our we've got our error. Just get rid of it. And I've been working on some stuff lately, mostly visual, graphical stuff. This is the starting screen. Nothing works, just new game. And that just kind of brings you here, where I'm not really sure why Stella was pointing in that direction, but I guess she was. All right, so new stuff. Let's see. Stuff that I haven't talked about yet. So I guess I just kind of like started populating the scene. So of course I've got some paving stones that still are kind of works in progress. I'm not sure if I want to keep the spiral on them, but I do like it. I started adding like grass trim around the like roads, just kind of like blend it nicely. And then I've got these lamps, which I'll showcase more of a little bit later. I've got some grass that probably needs a little bit of work, because as one of my friends pointed out, the part where it touches the ground is waving, which is not ideal, but that's probably, well, I'm going to say it's pretty easy to fix, but I'm sure it's not. I don't know. Anyways, I've got some flowers that I've been working on as well. Some bells. And then I've got the mushrooms. All the stones are different models. There's 9 paving stones. They all share a single texture, and they kind of have 2 sides to them. So a lot of them are like, you can see on the underside of them, they have the same texture. So they're just flipped upside down to make it look like there's much more variety. So, and then of course the scale is different and all that fun stuff. I also added a door, which I guess we're going to slowly work our way up to. Oh yeah, thanks. And yeah, so I've just kind of like started painting the door. I think I'm pretty happy with it, but I need to do the doorknob as well. And that's it for the village. There's more stuff. Let me just go back to Stella. Oh, and I don't know. Oh, man. I guess sound isn't really coming through. Never mind. I was going to say Sakura's voice was coming through, but so the door does open. I kind of want, because it's not great. What I kind of want is I kind of want to have it be so that Stella walks up to the door and then she like turns the doorknob and then enters the building, because it's currently based on entering a trigger and this can happen. So I don't really want that, but that's just work in progress. Yeah, we'll come back to the lamps a little bit later. I'm also working on the farm. This is super work in progress, but you know, I've got some stuff on the farm here. So these are supposed to be carrots. They're not finished. That's why this does not look right. But honestly, the cabbages and the corn look pretty good, I feel. Like, you can tell what they are without the texture. Whereas the carrots, I don't know, they look like someone stuck funnels in the ground. But I assure you they are carrots. I swear. Whoops. All right. Oh, for the door? Yeah. Oh, well, I was actually thinking a little bit more like you have to interact with the door in order to use it. And maybe what that means is Stella reaches her hand to the doorknob and it just opens. And then maybe like a similar closing animation. We'll see. We'll see. I actually, you know what's a really good, if you've ever played Skyward Sword, it's the only one that I can think of that has this, but like Link will walk up to the door and like open the door and then he'll be in the room and then yeah. And it's the same thing for getting out of there. Looks like the sun's setting. Which is great because the lights that was such perfect timing, yeah. So the lights come on. And these are, you knew I'd say Skyward Sword. Is there a reason why you knew I would say Skyward Sword? Because like I feel like that's the only one in my mind, like the only Zelda game that I can think of where Link will walk up to a door, turn the handle, and then go through it and close it. But maybe I'm just imagining. Anyways, regardless. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, anyways, back to this. You can see the lights. And it's pretty bright. I'm trying to like, I don't know, I feel like there's a balance with like Bloom where, you know, not everything is just so super bright and glowy. But like, obviously, Stella's brightly lit. I mean, she's a white rabbit for Christ's sake, but you know, she glows. Yeah. And I can't remember if I mentioned the mushrooms, but I've had these mushrooms for quite a while. And I actually have them in my game now. Maybe I need to work on a color change or something, but I don't know. Yeah, the camera cut is the thing that I'm thinking of. Entering buildings in Skyloft, entering rooms in Skyloft is like exactly what I'm thinking of. So there's not going to be any dynamic shadows for the lights because I don't want them to be. Like you got to remember, maybe this is something that I don't know if or I don't know if you guys have heard me say, but like my goals with this game is to basically have a game that feels like it belongs on a PlayStation 2. Even though it's going to be having, you know, there's going to be some things that like don't quite fit with what you could do with the PlayStation 2. I still kind of want it to feel that way. And, you know, this is all the way down to, this is all the way down to like the models. Like, you know, we look at Stella's face. It's very jagged. Try not to look inside her head. It's very jagged. Her hair, you can see all the polygons. The grass is like very low resolution. All the textures are very low resolution. You know? And yes, Luis, I am working. These are all my models. I've modeled all of them. Let's see. It roots the building to the earth as a real dug-in object, except as opposed to being the slippery extension of the terrain where the door just inexplicably slides open. When I think about it, I remember Link in Ocarina of Time reaching up to certain doorknobs as a child. I'm not sure. I mean, we could probably take a look. Jack and Daxter style? Yeah. Maybe a mix of like a mix of Jack and Daxter and Zelda, because this kind of like road thing that I'm doing here is a little bit closer to what would have been done in The Legend of Zelda. But, you know, I've got some other things that I'm planning to do a little bit closer to like a Jack and Daxter in terms of like terrain and that kind of thing. So I'm going to be mixing styles to get something that feels right. And then let's see what else. Just fly over here. There's our little boy. You've seen him already. This is the little brother of the big guy that we were sculpting. So you can kind of get an idea of what the big guy is going to look like when you're finally fighting him. Yeah, I don't know if there's much else for me to show that isn't already in the video or in the most recent devlog, so it's mostly just level, some sparkly. I kind of like that sparkle. I didn't realize that would happen with the bloom, but it's kind of nice. And then, of course, looks cozy. Thank you. I think we went a little bit too late. Here we go. Yeah, I kind of want the little village. Hey, Digis Monkey. How's it going? Yeah, I kind of do want the village to feel really cozy. I want it to feel like, you know, this is home. And I want it to be the one untouched place in the entire game that you can always go back to, and it always feels nice, while the rest of the game world is sort of falling apart and things are a little bit scarier. Yeah. Quite a bit of this is still a work in progress, by the way. Feel like got some half-finished textures on the walls over here that I could honestly probably finish pretty quickly, I'd say. Like they're pretty close, but. And then of course the bridge is over there. And of course the water. I took a step back with the water because I didn't quite like the way it was looking. So that I need to rework it. This bridge obviously is using the wall. Well, I don't know if it's obvious, but it's using the wall texture. And for the most part, I think I'm going to keep the top edge here and the little curb here because I quite like that. But obviously this part here, this needs to be fixed. But yeah, I mean, that is pretty much it. I don't really have much else to show in terms of gameplay or anything like that. It's mostly, I think the next devlog is going to be art focused entirely. just because I just want to explore what I can do in terms of like trying to get the game to sort of like feel a little bit more like the environments to feel a little bit more interesting, and then also how do I make them look interesting without going overboard? How do I make them feel like they belong to like a PlayStation 2 game? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was just showing them off. Just showing a bunch of stuff off. A bunch of stuff that I've been working on. But yeah. Does anybody have any like questions or anything that they want to ask? Um, Anything they want to see in particular? Maybe as long as it's not too out of the way, maybe I can show it. Yes, there will be swimming. You mean the monster that I was making today? Showcase. Are you sorry, Luis? Do you mean the monster that I was working on today? This is swimming, by the way. Murmur. It's very rough at the moment. It's not at all finished. Some big issues with it, for instance, just falling in. Falling in from like a small angle still does. Anyways, there's just a lot of stuff to iron out, but for the most part, it's working pretty much the way I want it to. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, like I have most of it ironed out. I think it's just polish really that needs to be done. And yeah, Luis, to answer your question, I need to finish the Big Brother first. I don't even have him retopologized or rigged or anything like that. So it's gonna be, I don't know. I might try and stream on the weekend, and I'll probably continue him between now and then, and for sure on the weekend. Yeah, I mean I have a couple of them in, not without problems. Let's see, swimming upwards. It's a little weird. I'm not sure, but it's like if you see like when she swims downwards, her legs keep going, but when she swims upwards, they stop. And I don't know if that's like I don't know what that is, because her feet are going. Maybe you know what it is. Maybe the cycle is offset, and I need to get her legs to sort of align with the cycle for like swimming forwards. Also, the sword animations are kind of messy right now. So, if I were to equip her sword and shield, looks fine right now, but when I take it out, she's just holding it wrong, and it's going through her leg. I don't know why. It's super weird. Also, that animation needs to be fixed. She looks weird. Anyways, that's an issue I'm gonna have to solve. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, actually, you know what? There is something that I didn't quite showcase in my video. So in addition to having like, you know, Stella picking up items and like Stella opening the chests and that kind of thing and being like, "Oh yeah, there's a thing in here. What is it? Oh, it's a key." No, it's another shield for some reason. I thought it would be a key. She's gone assassin mode. Yeah. I've also added it so that you don't actually have to interact with it in order to open it. You can just like attack it and then it just spits out the item. I'm really happy with that because I just think it looks cool. But yeah. So that wasn't in the video. I'll probably include that in my next video, but I guess you guys kind of got a little bit of a preview of that. Yeah, really nothing else to show here, I guess. That's basically everything. All right. It's that time of day. Thanks for coming, everybody. Sorry I was late. Blender didn't work, and then my computer wouldn't restart, which was a pain in the ass. But yeah, like I said before, you know, all my socials are in the description. Twitter, or I guess most of them, Twitter and Blue Sky. I guess if you're watching the VOD for this, the Instagram should be in there. And, you know, like I said before, join the Patreon and you'll get access to extended devlogs. The extended devlogs are going to include, you know, bits of information that would be helpful to you if you're a game dev or if you're just curious about it. And yeah, and then there's a link to the Discord as well if you want to join that. Yeah, I'm glad it worked out too, Murmur. Thanks for hanging out. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.